Hello, welcome to the Daily Political Tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm here 365 days of the year, and I take your political questions from out of the chat. I don't do personal readings, I'm afraid. Not here and not in private. It's energetically a little too much for me. 10% of all income that comes into the channel goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country, and that's an ongoing thing. And if you're watching this on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. I've got that's where I put the questions. If you're here live, you can follow along, and if you're watching this on replay, timestamps will be all there, and I go back in and I clean it up afterwards. So my readings more match the description more matches what I actually read on. So I took care of all of that. We have excellent troll slayers. Thank you. You keep us safe. Appreciate that. Also, Kristen from Uncover the News has given so much to the channel. Thank you so much. And has been requesting for a long time that I use the Urban Tarot. Urban Tarot. So I'm going to try. The problem is I don't know if it's just that I'm 5'4". I don't know if the deck was designed for somebody taller. I don't know, but it's very hard to shuffle. It's just, so I'm gonna try. Also in the tarot, it's a beautiful deck. But a couple of the meanings are slightly different, and some of them it doesn't twig with me what it's meant to be. I mean, I hit the Six of Cups looking through it just now, and it was like, I think of Six of Cups, I think of the little kids in the garden center. You know, really nice nostalgia, that sort of thing. And here it's called pleasure. Very adult theme, and I'm like, whoa, no, but I love them. Kristen says, I shuffled them on the desk like poker. I'll try. I'll see what I can do. But I'm great. I'm so grateful. I'm gonna try. I'll see how long my hands last. So we're using the Urban Tarot deck. It's the back. They're very pretty. They're very, very well done. So please, we'll try this today. Okay. So I have got this isn't too bad. I can this part I can do. So hello everybody. Hello Sydney. Kristen says I have tiny hands. Okay, I have got a bunch of your questions in the chat already, but let me just see. Oh, goodness, I don't even know where I was. I need to grab just a few more. I wanted to make sure I came on time. And I may have missed something. And yes, okay. So I think, so let me just grab let's grab 5 questions here. I will be reading on the Satanic Temple, going after the Texas law. They are very much of the, you'll hear a lot about self-determination, that kind of thing, but it's so Marilyn Manson joined. That should tell you something. And the founder's 13-year-old daughter had a child at 13. So while there is some humor to it, I guess. It's just, they live up to their name. And I don't believe in the devil. So it's just gross. But they're just gross. But now they're fighting the good fight, and so we'll read on it if they'll have any luck. Okay. Kristen is pointing out that Miss Betty Bowers tweeted, "I never realized how exhausting it would be to live in a stupid country." Yep. Okay. And just having a quick look to see. Oh, goodness. All right. Breaking news from Kristen. Merrick Garland just announced that the DOJ will investigate and prosecute anyone who interferes with women seeking reproductive health services or who damages facilities that provide it. Really? Okay, I think that's going to be moving up in the go from the stupid to the about time. So, all right. Sorry about this. Just the more questions I have in the chat just before noon, the faster this goes. But if I don't, I'm afraid it takes me a few minutes. But this is faster than me writing them all down. So that's what I used to do. And okay, I'm not sure about routers. The news people reported a leaked phone call July 27th between Biden and Ghani. Who leaked it? Is there something newsworthy there I don't know about? I do want to read your questions are very important to me. I just want to understand. So if you could maybe let me know, because things leak in the government. They just do. Is it a problem? I don't know. I haven't heard that. I read a lot of news, and you guys bring amazing stuff. So, oh, and Vicky's saying her grandson is home from the hospital. Oh, good. All right, this is good news. We could use good news. All right, and quick look. Will U.S. athletes compete in the Beijing Olympics? We'll have a look at that for number 10. And 2 more. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you for the links. And anything else in all caps? Just looking. Oh, that's right, Bolsonaro. I guess we should look at that stupidity. Bolsonaro needs a hobby. Bolsonaro plans for an insurrection on 7th of September. And the reason I want to ask about it is specifically because, the new MAGA rally, gracious, is happening on the 18th, and they may have an effect on each other. So, all right. And one more. I just need one more. One more question. Mandy, when, if ever, will Trump stop begging to get his job back at the White House? Sure. Okay. We'll put that on. Okay, so I've got my 12 questions for today. And I'm sorry if I've missed your question. But I'm literally here every single day. So I'll read on your questions eventually. It's just a matter of time. When I started this, it seemed like people were complaining, I was on for 1 hour, and it was like, it'll never, I can't sit for that long, and all this. You'll never get 12 questions every single day. Also, Daryl had a question about the Bible verse in Texas and whatnot. I cannot read on that question. It had to do, you said it was 1 Thessalonians 4:3-6, chapter 3-6. I went and looked that up. It didn't actually talk exactly. It didn't have the words you were mentioning in your question about men being hunted down in Texas, but the way the way you worded the question and reference to male stuff, I'm going to literally hurl if I read on that question. So I'm just not going to read on that question. I'm sorry. Well, men should be held accountable in Texas, but welcome to the patriarchy. All right. But we are going to start at, thank you guys. We are going to start at 10:30 here. Well, more like 11. Let's do 11. Because there is news, Portland is to vote on to ban Texas travel and trade following this new law. I would imagine that's among the that's government stuff. So basically, Portland is going to move to, and I would imagine, I'd be surprised if there, oh goodness gracious, I'd be surprised if there aren't corporations that start talking about pulling out of Texas and whatnot. That's what happens with a lot of these extreme laws and what have you. It quickly gets to a point where companies know they'll face backlash. So Portland banning travel and business with Texas over this new law. Is that going to hold? Is that going to go through? And is it going to spread? Okay, we're using the Urban Tarot deck today. Let's see what we've got. Oh, hello card. Oh, it's that card I was talking about earlier. All right. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Okay. Pegasus says Greg Abbott actually thinks businesses will want to come to Texas now. That's delusional. It is delusional. Hello, Annie. Thank you. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate that. All right, Portland saying oh nay nay to Texas garbage, Texas stupidity. Is it going to pass in Portland? And is that kind of thing going to spread to other places, banning or limiting stuff to Texas, working with Texas, and corporations? Okay, I can't hold the deck that way. Strife. It's the card of strife, and that's what they've created. They've created a lot of strife. Okay. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. I saw this earlier. This is gain. Nine of Pentacles. Lovers. That pleasure card, which fell out earlier. It's the Six of Cups. Public Defenders, the Queen of Wands. And the Ace of Swords. So, big cards. In Texas, they think they've got it set up. They're sitting pretty. They've done their thing. And if you're a member of the cult, this is a Lover's card. It's the cult members, but it's also a very a traditional kind of. In this deck, it's a kind of a traditional card. This is the pleasure that comes from, well, got the Lover's card, but it's also vacations and normally this is the two kids in the garden center in the red or white deck, which is what I'm used to, where it's good times. And cups are, I get from more liberal leaning people, but also filmmakers and, a lot of that kind of stuff is right at the center. They're at the center. It's like you might be happy over here in Texas saying, ha, 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 we're sitting pretty. But there could be quite the backlash. The Queen of Wands here, the public defender. See, Queen of Wands is normally, Wands is the far, far right. But this is a public defender in this deck. And bringing a public defender bringing the sword of truth. So I think that there could be some more things like what's happening in Portland that go on. But I'm actually getting more and more bits of energy that this law isn't going to stand. And strangely enough, okay, this is weird. This is seriously weird. somebody asked Trump about this, about the new law in Texas. And he said, well, I've looked at it, and it's complicated. I don't think it's going to stand. Nuanced, thoughtful. What? Anyway, my brain's going to melt if I think about that for too long. So, okay. Oh boy. So, I don't think, I think that there's a bigger blowback. You notice a lot of Republicans are staying quiet on this. A lot of Republican lawmakers are staying quiet on this. So, as Barb, someone told him to say that. I believe that. I believe that more than he was thoughtfully working his way through this. Okay. Okay. So in related at 1630, 1645. Oh gosh. All right, Satanic Temple. I despise these people. Not because I despise the Satanic Temple people, not because we're, ooh, booga booga, we're Satan, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe in Satan. I think a lot of that whole demon thing, what have you, it's just astral gunk down in the more compressed energetic layers. They're parasites. They want to scare you because it creates you give off low level energy. That's what they feed on. They're just parasites. And as I said earlier, if you spend about 10 minutes reading up on them, they're just selfish and vile. And anyway, let's see here. So, the selfish waste of space have decided that they're going to go up against the new Texas law over religious freedom, which, I mean, there's some humor in that. Okay, there's some humor in that. I'll accept it. Yeah, these are big cards. But anyway, how's that going to go? High Priestess. Religious freedom. This isn't the Hierophant, the Pope, the institution. No, this is the High Priestess. This is the occult. Okay, let's see if the cards will fit on the rack. All right, 10 of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Prince of Cups. There's a Prince and Princess of Cups, and a Prince and Princess of each suit. In this case, it's a filmmaker. Princess of Wands, in this case, a dancer. And Princess of Cups, a costume designer. All right, I'm really confused by the whole. Okay, I've got the 10 of Pentacles. I've got the Ace of Cups. I've got the Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups. Page. I'm confused. Page. 2 pages of Cups and 1 page of Wands. Well, this is outnumbering. These are Cups outnumbering the far right of what's being pushed here. of course, the Republicans think they're sitting pretty, but this is a new beginning, and this is cups, and cups. Young people. I'm not getting any energy here off of. Oh, thank you, Julie. Let me try with the regular deck. Oh, it's a good size. But anyway, you want religious freedom? Sure, let's have religious freedom. Now that part is amusing. Let me see here. Hey, seriously, you don't need to know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The Church of Satan, they have the energy of like long, dirty toenails. That's what their energy is like. It's just, ugh. Religious freedom. That's what the cups are referring to. It's oh yeah, religious free, because usually quite often it's cups can be talking about religion. I'm sorry, but that's the image I got. Page of Pentacles, Hanged Man, Queen of Pentacles, King of Wands, Strength. You know, you guys, I've mentioned this if you didn't already know. Marilyn Manson became a member. As a matter of fact, I think he's ordained in the Church of Satan. He's also heavily accused of mistreatment of women. Entertainment only. But this, we're on the right, and we're going to go forward, and we're going to gather our people, and we're going to have this new law. And this is the Church of Satan coming along and saying, let's see who's the king of symbolism. And live by the religious freedom, die by the religious freedom. I keep a clean channel. These are people I should not be reading on. Live by the wand, die by the wand. Oh, Melissa says TCOS confirms Manson was never ordained by them. Oh, okay. Their standards are too high. Oh, boy. Yeah, ordained, exactly. But no, Kristen, I love the deck. I do love the deck. It's unwieldy for me, but it's a beautiful deck. And I wore short nails, and I cried because you're important. Okay, thank you. All right. Are they going to be successful? Religious freedom. Did I get greetings from Athens, Greece? Oh, I hope it's wonderful there. Page of Pentacles, Moon. Insult to injury. This is like this is the people pushing this, thinking that they have the buttoned down traditional, like they're Mormons, there's just this very buttoned down, leave it to Beaver kind of image, what they're pushing. No, you're not. And you've got people coming out of the woodwork to go against it. So this law's time is limited. I am happy to say, at least entertainment only. Reading from the it's hard. I don't trust the Supreme Court at all, but I don't trust the Supreme Court at all. But I think there's a limit to this. How long this is going to be in place. That's what I'm getting. They have kicked a hornet's nest, and after the women's march the day after Trump was inaugurated with the pink hats and all, women are a lot more politically active now. Good. So anyway, let's go on to actual decency and people who know what they're doing. At 27, was it? Yes. Okay. Breaking. Merrick Garland just announced that the DOJ will investigate and prosecute anyone who interferes with women seeking reproductive health services or who damages facilities that provide it. Ooh, boy. Investigate and prosecute anyone who interferes. But for some people, it'll be worth the $10,000 bounty. Makes me crazy. Every time I have to say that. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. What's going to come of this? Is it actually going to work? Are they actually going to... Is DOJ really stepping up? Is something going to happen here? Let's see. I've got energy that there's something to this. So much so that it causes a retreat. Wondering, I was saying Garland is going to investigate the Texas legislature. Actually, what Kristen was sharing was Merrick Garland just announced, breaking. Merrick Garland just announced the DOJ will investigate and prosecute anyone who interferes with women seeking reproductive health services or who damages facilities that provide it. Linda is asking, is Abbott a lost soul or a demon? It's close to him falling. Lack of light. He's not a demon. Even Epstein is still connected to the, in my opinion, in what I've seen and felt, even Epstein is still connected to all of us. We're all connected. We always will be. He's down in the more compacted, darker levels, and he's on a thin, what I call trickle charge, until his energy gets high enough that his energetic system will his spiritual system will kind of reboot, and he will suddenly realize everything he did. But thank you, Kristen. There's a full DOJ statement in Twitter. Thank you. So, Merrick Garland. Oh, Queen of Swords. Investigations. This is the bounty, I think. Money, little bits of money coming from the Republicans. There's insult to injury in the middle. There's Moon, great upset. Page of Pentacles. See, on the right, they're going, this is all on the right. This is them all thinking, we've got this, we've got the power, we're going to do the thing, but they're kind of small. Even this is a page at the end. This is the Queen of Swords, Queen of Investigators. Multiple investigations. And it's right at the beginning. So you can go about your business and do your thing. And the more you add this insult to injury, and then, of course, the state's going to go nuts, and the right's going to go nuts if the federal government tries to get involved, which they should, because they're breaking federal laws. But they're so small over here. And this just overshadows the whole thing. And it's not a surprise that this is insult to injury. And they're going to see it as such when the law is really used. Charlene says, I lived in Texas for 4 years, never again. I lived there for a couple of years. But I lived near Austin. I lived on the outskirts of San Marcos for a couple of years. And being near Austin was okay. I really didn't like the drive-through liquor stores. That's not a good idea. I saw people with open cans of beer and holding open cans of beer in inside their vehicles as they were driving too, and they weren't pulled over, and I just not smart. But anyway. Dave saying direct conflict between federal and state. Texas could secede. I say good riddance, but Biden won't allow the union to fail. Many would die. Texas isn't going anywhere. Well, let's ask. Well, let's ask. At 32:45. Will Texas secede? I've never seen it happening, but let's have a look. Texas, you're going to secede? That's America. Card for America. Magician, Temperance, Death card, Hierophant, Seven of Swords. Even though I've got the Death card in the center, it's someone standing up. That's where the story starts. Someone standing up and saying, we must secede. Marie's saying Texas can't secede. Our 1845 agreement when we became a state. There we go. Someone standing up and saying, we have to. We're going to do it anyway. But this is Temperance, and it's right there next to the Death card. Which means whatever your great plan is here, nah. And it's the great plan for the institution. We're going to be our own country. And the laws are, you're trying to mess with the laws. You're trying to stand up by, this is a card of theft and swords are laws. So you're trying to mess with the you're trying to do screwy things with the laws. No. This is the death of that dream. So, all right. Moving on. I Actually, I need a drink. I didn't have time to grab my protein shake this morning, but I do have coffee, so. Okay. Charles is saying Texas couldn't survive alone. Linda's saying after what happened to the energy grid, they still want to secede. And Marie's saying, I remember my high school history. Good. I don't. I probably do. I shouldn't just say that, just as a joke, but I've forgotten so much. I wish I had a photographic memory. I do, but then again, before going to the next question, a friend of mine was going through some of my old some of my comments from a long time ago. Don't ask me why. And she found one where you guys in the chat were talking about my being a Scorpio and Scorpios in general. And if someone made the comment, it was that me, Autumn, she called me Autumn. Autumn is the squishiest of Scorpios. She needs her stinger just so she doesn't get squished. I love that. I love that. Thank you for that. That made me happy. Scorpio sun. Yes, Scorpio sun, Cancer moon, Mars, Pisces and Mars. Mars and Pisces. I can't talk today. Yeah. I've this whole thing you're seeing here, this is all the ascendant, descendant, Neptune stellium with Venus and Mercury across from Saturn on the ascendant. This is this whole thing. This is what you're seeing. Fifth house, Uranus, which is telecommunications, internet, stuff like that. But in here, squish. Anyway. All right. 38. Ooh, Polywanda. Polywanda's a genius. I'm just going to say it. I think we may have a genius on our hands because she always has great questions. I love how your mind works. Polywanda wants to know, will embedding chips in humans become commonplace? Oh, thank you, Kate. Thank you. Dave has a photographic memory, but it's funny that his childhood memories are in black and white. Cool. Rob's saying that combination makes sense for you, though. I love astrology as I'm shuffling. I love astrology because it gives us ideas about how we can best be our most comfortable selves, which will allow us to bring the energy into the world that we're the best energy in the world we're here to create. So. Okay. See how Scorpios rule. I'm a Scorp too. Yep. Autumn, that Cancer moon makes you squishy. It does. All right. Fine, just like a scorpion, hard on the outside, soft on the inside. So are crabs for Cancer. Cancer's ruled by the crab. Hard outer shell, squishy on the inside. I have to keep very strong boundaries. Very strong boundaries. All right, 39. There's okay. So will embedding chips in humans become commonplace? See, the problem with stuff like that is what happens when that, whatever it is, becomes obsolete. It's something you can take in and out, and who's going to, and there'll be competitors. So which thing are you going to embed or embed? I don't know. Let's see. Messenger. Okay. That's one way to look at it. Something like that, eventually moving our consciousness into physical storage or physical calculation, not just biological calculation, biological action, but mechanical action. Immortality, anybody? For the rich, of course. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but there are some serious ethical issues coming down the pike. They're in the distance, but they are coming down the pike. There are going to be questions about immortality. Page of Swords. Chariot. Deseret says, wouldn't mind a chip in my arm so I don't need a wallet. But, thank you, Diana. Thank you. The problem with that is, again, once it becomes obsolete, once there's a competitor, how many times would you have to get that thing taken out of your arm to get a new one? Or do they just pile up in your arm? I mean, they're serious. There are all kinds of issues here. Polywanda, I'm thinking chips instead of charge cards and medical chips, etc. The energy of what's coming is massive. I don't think it's gonna. I was gonna say I don't think it's in our lifetimes. Actually, I think it's gonna start being in our lifetimes, maybe increasingly. But as far as, well, the reason they're not doing that now is liability. What if it goes wrong? What if it isn't working? Chips reprogrammed, says Polywanda. But what is it when one of the, I'm sure you guys know the details. I don't remember the details of the story, but it was one of the great great. I just don't mean great as in great. I mean is important. One of the important computer makers of computers said, "Oh, nobody will ever need more than, I don't know what, 100 megabytes of storage." So, all I want to say is I already have a chip on my shoulder, but that's eternal. Ed saying, do you know where your children are, takes on new meaning. And that's why I was getting that page at the end there. It's people wanting to keep their children safe and give their children advantages and things like that. That's what would push something like this. Smaller chips, embedded. I mean, there's some people doing that kind of stuff now. But electronic choices. Ace of Wands, Eight of Swords, Two of Wands, communication right in the middle, Ace of Swords, ow, world, connecting you to the world. Right now, they need to do something to improve the technology. There's something about it. It's too crude. It wouldn't work as well as it should. But that kind of communication is coming that will connect you to the world. Matter of time. There's all kinds of stuff coming. Trust me on that. And you don't need me to tell you. I did notice as things were scrolling past. Kate, did you say you've got a Cancer moon? Just looked at your chart. Where in Cancer is it? Do you know? Does it say what degree of Cancer it's in? Electra says, I need to make a choice and not forcing on people who don't want to chip in them. Yes. However, things like that could quickly get to the point where can you really get around in the modern world without a cell phone? Yes, but anyway. Kate, was there a number next to the moon? A number between 0 and 29 next to the moon. My moon is at 9 degrees Cancer. Anyway. Wonder Guy says, wait until gene splicing gets here in 5 years. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a whole different thing. Oh, Kate, 4.3 degrees. Our moons are conjunct. But they're within 5 degrees of each other. And moons can actually, if they're within 10 degrees of each other, they'll affect each other. But within 5 degrees, that's one of the reasons we're friends. Emotionally, we understand each other on a basic level. Also, and because your moon is closer to 0, it's forming a very positive aspect trine to my Mars, which is at 0 Pisces. So your emotions, there's the way I act, the energy flows well with the way I act and your emotions. So I can do things and you're okay with it. in general. But it's just a gentle energy, and it's very nice. And that explains why we've been friends for almost 10 years. We worked together in a bookstore. But Ed's son is a double Cancer. Oh, wow. Lynette says, my Cancer moon is at 29. Very cool. So your moon is trine my stellium, which is probably why we trine? Yeah, trine. So it's probably why we do the creative stuff together. Anyway, this is just fun stuff. Okay, oh God, yeah, it's been 10 years. Oh, you find me inspiring. Thank you. Love Chulu, how long have you had tarot readings? I don't know what you mean. What you mean? Just let me know. All right, I better go back to the questions. That's what you're here for. Oh boy, this is getting kind of scary. 49. Kate Taylor was asking, will the government be forced to section off the unvaccinated to a particular area so the rest of us can live without worrying about the other variants because they just keep giving COVID fuel? I find this unlikely, but we'll have a look. Magnolia Spiritual House, so you have a water trine? Not quite, just in sign. Thank you. It's wow, super intuitive and empathetic. Thank you. But the problem is that my Mars is at 0 degrees and change of Pisces, and my moon is at 9 degrees of Cancer, but my sun is at 13 degrees and 52 minutes of Scorpio. So there's too much of an orb between my sun and Mars, but at least it's in the same sign. Anyway. All right. Floating Lotus. Yeah. Whew. Hello, Carrie. All right, so let me get to this question because this can be a dark question. Okay, we've refilled clean air happy thoughts, and we're going to dive down back into the muck here, unfortunately. Will the government be forced to basically section off the unvaccinated? I don't think so, but let's have a look. Let me at least pull 3 cards on this. Because, yeah, the unvaccinated, they're helping to keep variants going. Nine of Cups. Medical care and vaccines. Medical care from the majority. Yeah, we want to like cut down on the whole death thing. Okay, thanks. Please, if we ask nicely. Oh, this is the dribble coming out of the far right media. Queen of Cups. This is actual health providers. This is a card for the reading, as in what is this energy, but this is just healthcare. There's a lot of it is going to have to be social pressure. Ed just said to Afghanistan in all caps. So is that where you think we should send the unvaccinated? Hey. Katie, Leos either consider air signs a challenge or marriage material. The longest relationships I ever had in my life were both with earth signs. Never again. I say that, famous last words, but, and I don't know why, because I have no earth in my chart, and it doesn't work out. King of Wands. It's Trump. Even Trump got vaccinated. Look, even the Fuhrer, even your Fuhrer got vaccinated. Get vaccinated. Lynette saying insurance and hospitals. I think we'll see more field hospitals. Yeah. 4 of Swords, unvaccinated. People are vaccinated. Get your vaccines. They're going to start vaccinating more young people as well. And even people who weren't all that in any rush to get vaccinated themselves. Once they're vaccinating their kids, it's like, okay, there's going to be a lot of that too. It's not. I don't know that it's going to be the game changer, but they're not going to be sectioned off. We're not going to create camps or something, or send them to Afghanistan. All right, and okay, next. Speaking of sending them to Afghanistan or sending somebody to Afghanistan. Apparently in the news, thank you again, Kristen, in the news, the Taliban, actual Taliban, holds up Glenn Beck group's planes, at least 100 Americans among the passengers. Can they keep him, please? So what's going to happen to Glenn Beck and the ballpark 100 Americans being held up by the Taliban? Michael Grant, a positive attitude. I don't remember the last time I read on Glenn Beck. Oh, Sherry's saying, who cares what happens to Glenn Beck? Good riddance. I have a confession to make here in a second. I have a bookstore confession to make here in a second. Kate will get it. Glenn Beck. Gonna trot on over to Gonna trot on over to Afghanistan and make a splash, make a scene, create some viral video as fast as their little hooves can carry them. Taliban want money, says Linda. Hierophant. Yeah, they want money. Fruits of labor. Institution wanting fruits of labor. Holding them. Knight of Swords. Knight of Cups. Negotiation back and forth. I'm getting a lot of three more cards, and then I will share my bookstore confession. They're gonna work something out. There's get out of here. Trump says the Taliban will eventually get sick of him. Two of Swords, 10 of Swords, Ace of Cups. This was your decision. It was a stupid decision. And somebody else is going to have to come rescue you. Idiot. Okay. I was never a manager when I worked at the bookstore. I was just a lovely bookseller. So I was very pleased when I occasionally got to do things like set up like end caps. And end caps are in bookstores where you get the rows and rows of books. On the end of the rows, the display there, it's called an end cap. And there were these plastic little holders that could hold one book each. And there were I don't know, 6 or 8 of them on this one end cap. Not an important thing. It wasn't the front of the store. It was just in the, among the shelves. And one day I was asked by one of the managers who said, get these books, get 1 or 2 copies of these books and go put them on that end cap. It's like, yes, this is great. I love this kind of thing. All right. So I went and I got the books and I was putting them all up, and then I realized, So I set the whole thing up and I went and I got the manager, Kate. It was the blonde. I think you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be more specific than that. Who had been there for a long time. Anyway, I went and got the manager, and we're standing in front of the end cap. And I said, okay. And he's looking it over to make sure it's done right. And I said, yeah, this is here and that's there and this. And I got sorted all this out and multiple copies. And I was going to put them in alphabetical order by author. It didn't say to do that, but I was going to put them in alphabetical order by author, but that would have put Glenn Beck's book at the top. And I didn't want to do that. It's at the bottom. And he looked it over and said, yeah, okay. And we both walked off. Yes, Kate. But anyway. Be nice to books. If you have a book, be nice to booksellers. And just in general, don't be a hateful human being. Anyway. Nice. All right, so at 59:30, oh no, 59:30, we are reading on the alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, theta. Is it mu or mu? I think it's mu. How do you pronounce the Greek letter? mu. It I think it does say, yeah, mu, isn't it? It's mu. Thank you. It's like a lowercase u with an extra, with, you know how on a lowercase u you get the u and then you get the that extra line that comes down on the right hand side. Well, on this it goes down on the left hand side too and carries down a little bit more, and that's the mu symbol. Anyway, mu. Thank you. So anyway, the mu variant. Oh, okay. I'm already getting good energy. I'm already getting energy of, there's a lot of work already being done. There are people taking this seriously. There are people in public who are taking this seriously. It may rattle our timbers, but I'm not feeling catastrophe. I'm not feeling it being worse than the ultimate situation being worse than 2020. But let's see what the cards say. At least I'm getting some positive energy, because the mu variant is ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. I like that. Michael Grant wins the internet today, everybody. The Satan, as in DeSantis, must belong to Mu Lambda Delta. Queen of Swords. Okay. Vaccinations. High-level medical care. This is more the like Dr. Fauci, the administrative medical stuff as well, but it very much feels like vaccines and whatnot. So Dave says it's going to get worse until people learn that we are one. We have to work together. Well, I think people in general need to learn that we are one and we need to work together in life, spiritually, and yes, physically. Lisa says, I read they're going to use names out of stars and constellations if we run out of Greek letters. Oh, I hope we don't run out of Greek letters, but yeah. Star, Tower. And by the way, it is in the country already. King of Wands. Pinhead Trump. Sorry, that was loud, but Pinhead Trump. How many people died because of you? Four of Swords, seven of Wands. The unvaccinated will be very much on the defensive and very sick. But it's the unvaccinated. I have a card for the unvaccinated now, and that's it, and it's very strong. We're fighting this, and it's done us damage in the past, but it's the followers of the stupid Fuhrer who are going to suffer. Who are going to suffer the most. At least in trauma to strain. Thank you, Sandra. Different variants emerging in different parts of the world, fortunately. 6 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, Temperance. Jersey, is that negativity aimed at me? I kind of grabbed my attention. This is what I do. Six of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Temperance. We're going to get this under control eventually. We are. There are certain places that are doing better. Obviously, poorer places are still struggling. We need more vaccines just out in the world for the other variants. But temperance, we'll get there. We will. It's in the future, but we're going to get this under control. We will. Hang in there. Hang in there. And be sensible. Do whatever you think you should do to fight, to not be infected or to protect yourself or your family. Do that, and then just do like one thing extra. Do one thing you think is, it's unnecessary. I don't need to worry about that. Just do one. Wipe down something you don't normally wipe down, or wipe down something you've stopped wiping down, or not taking a risk that you're like, it's fine now. The COVID virus, it only lives for about 6 hours. The CDC said. I looked this up. This is not from me. Do not take medical advice at all from anyone on YouTube. But as a friend, I can say to you, be sensible, listen to the CDC, and just keep yourself as safe as possible so you can make it through this. I don't think that's unreasonable to suggest. Anyway, I'll just leave it there. Lilo, I like that, Autumn. Just go one step further. Thank you, because I think that's what we need to do. Just keep yourself safe, and we'll get through this. All right. Let's leave it there. 107. Where are we? Senate panel. Senate panel announces a hearing on the new Texas law. Panel wants to investigate the shadow docket. What is this? Oh, Kristen's saying that Mew should be pronounced moo because anti-maskers are taking too much livestock dewormer. You're not wrong. Okay. Oh, Kate, you were... I was the children's department lead bookseller before I finally threw in the towel. Oh, wow. Doing a full department reset for the Christmas season by myself was the last straw. Oh, wow. Moo, herd immunity. Cough. Got it going on today, Michael. And let's say 108.30. So what's going on at this Senate panel? Something going to, are they going to do something? The Senate panel wants to investigate the shadow docket. What is this? All very shadowy conspiracy stuff. Polly Wanda saying, brush your teeth with ivermectin horse paste and you'll never suffer from gummy worms. You are so awesome. Shadow docket. That is some legal heartache, legal grief, legal dark of night. It was a dark and stormy legal night, judicial night. Queen of Wands, Eight of Cups. Michael Grant, shadow docket, a scary little procedural nuance created for subversion of justice. Is this against the Texas law or is it for the Texas law? I thought it was against. Okay. I'm sorry you went through that. Hermit. Hanged Man. Looking at far-right energy. Michael, it was used to avoid ruling on the Texas law. Oh, that. Okay. Investigating the shadow dock. Okay. It used the shadow docket to decide not to rule in Texas. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Thank you, guys. So this is the far right. A number of them. But these are people. This is not the justices as justices. These are people with far right views. This is this might be witnesses and evidence being called to the panel, looking at it very, very carefully. And there is some kind of suspension that leaves some people on the far right out in the cold. Is the Senate panel actually going to be useful? I would think that the Hollies of the world would sink any attempt at decency. Thank you, CC Ryder. Thank you. By the way, did they ever find that insurrectionist lawyer? Just curious. Shadow doc. See, okay, Senate panel. So, I mean, I would think that the Hollies and the what have you of the world would, of the Senate, would derail any looking at this institution. Smoke and mirrors. Things that should be out in the open. Justices pushing a very far right agenda. What's going to come of this? Okay, this is what it is, but what's going to come of this? Are they going to find a way to change procedural stuff? Or are they going to hold somebody accountable? Are they what? What's the point? So, Senate panel convened. Are you just blowing smoke? Okay, looking at something very, very carefully. I can look at things carefully too. I could get this pen and I can look at it very carefully. Yep, looking at it very carefully. But that's not going to save women. Okay, evidence. Collecting evidence of the far right. Very Coney Barrett, but it's the group of them. Legal heartache. I need more information on what this is. It just, are you just, okay. I'll try one more time. Michael says SCOTUS controls procedural rules. It's a separation of power battle. Well, I'm not getting a whole lot here. Oh, Polly, you might want to quit joking about the horse paste stuff. Somebody may come along and take you seriously. Page of Cups. Magician. 8 of Swords. The whole thing was insult to injury, but I'm not. It's over an emotional situation with children or cells. They stood up hold women in check, insult to injury. Yes, it was. I'm not getting anything as far as like what will come of this. What will happen? I got more from the DOJ. Now I did get some energy of put on your state versus federal boxing gloves. Probably won't at me. Serious? Okay. 116. Jay Brumley had a question. Let's see here. Since this is Labor Day, hello, happy Labor Day, everybody. Will unions be getting stronger or weaker in the next 5 years? Okay. Rebecca says, Cash Peter saw 2 justices falling off the raft. Your cards show 2 out in the cold. 2 justices will be removed. I've seen Biden nominating at least 1, but like 1 or 2, unfortunately, not the 4 we would need to get to 13. I don't know anything about Senator Whitehouse dropping information. Lynott, what's going on there? 117, Labor Day, unions. Will unions be getting stronger, weaker in the next 5 years? My father's side was actually, I think both my grandfathers were in unions, but one was in Steelworkers Union. But my father's father was a milkman. And he started out back when they had horses. And he'd get up, get super early and set everything up. And then he would sit on the front of the cart. And the horse would just walk and he'd sleep. He'd sleep on the bench until the horse got to the first house. And as the horse stopped, it would make all the bottles rattle and it would wake him up. Because the horse knew it did the same thing every day. So the horse knew exactly where to go and where to stop. He was also a poet. Just really nice. But I love that story. King of Pentacles. Well, we are in the anti-Reagan era. And it's going to become even more anti-Reagan over the next 10 years. Solana, he said the Senate Judiciary has been sitting on this SCOTUS dark money info. Why is he sitting on it? We'll have to look at that tomorrow. That sounds very interesting. Ace of Cups, 8 of Wands. There's a Death card. There's... Well, there's a great book called I think it's called The Pendulum, and it's about how in American society we swing back and forth between what he calls me and we in our focus in our society. In the 80s, it was ultimate me. You get yours, I get mine. Ship jobs overseas, so I make more money. Whatever, just me. And then over a period, then it swings back to we, where you had like the Great Depression, where it was about let's help each other, let's work together, let's get government involved, let's do this. So it did the Great Depression, then Reagan, and now it's swinging back. And it's going to get to extreme we kind of stuff, and that's what the rise of this is. The far right, they're fighting tooth and nail because they don't want this to happen. But they end up on the defensive, and this is just the death of the old ways, and especially this far right push. I mean, the reason they've risen so far is because the left is rising, so they're on the defensive because this is where America's going. So, will there be more unions? Possibly. But there will definitely be it will definitely move toward more of an FDR situation rather than a very anti-Reagan kind of thing. That's where we're headed. So, thank you, Lynette. Okay. 120, well, it's more like 121. Okay, V Cool Water wanted to know, will U.S. athletes compete in the Beijing Olympics? I support diplomatic boycott. However, I don't believe athletes should be punished. Fair enough. All right. Will U.S. athletes compete in the Beijing Olympics? The energy's doing this. Nine of Wands. They go through so much. They work so hard. But China, eesh. King of Swords, Hierophant. Got disappointment in the center. Five of Cups, Queen of Swords, Ace of Wands. I've got some legal mess going on. There's some legal. I'm getting surprise. I'm getting some seriously underhanded legal stuff, and like lies about who's vaccinated and who's not, and they're there to take action. I mean, that's what they do. So I'm getting a mixed bag. The energies, and the card in the center is disappointment and a very mixed bag. China's not on the up and up about something, and I don't think it's just Wuhan. I mean, like they're messing with their numbers, and they're on the defensive because of Wuhan. And so I've got seriously hinky energy. Feising, I wonder if the IOC will cancel them because of COVID. I wish I had better news. All right. 123.30. Where are we? Oh, Bolsonaro. Gosh, man needs a hobby. Besides fascism. 123.30. Okay. Bolsonaro. Over 150 parliamentarians, ministers, and ex-presidents from 26 countries warn of Brazilian President Bolsonaro's plan for an insurrection on September 7th. Now, the reason we are looking at this is because on September 18th, there's going to be the MAGA rally in Washington, D.C. So I'm wondering if the September 7th Brazil insurrection is going to happen, and what effect, if it's successful, what effect that might have on September 18th. Yeah, Amy, shocking. China not telling the truth. Who would have thought? Polly Wanda saying Olympic level scumbaggery. Yes. All right, Bolsonaro, let's start with you. Ugh. Ow. Inflexible. That man is completely inflexible, and my whole body just tightened up. Dave is saying no nation is totally honest. There are degrees. Bolsonaro. He's a liar, like Trump. Wheel of Fortune. 6 of Wands and Judgment. Go forth, my minions, and fight for my extreme right victory potential. But there's Judgment here. And there's the Wheel of Fortune. It has 2 major arcana on either side of it. Wheel of Fortune and Judgment. Let's get some more information. September 7th. So tomorrow. Deborah saying my brother lives smack in downtown Sao Paulo. Oh, he's like Trump. Yeah, we know that. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Young people who are wanting a better life, they're being promised things that, yeah. But quiet as a tomb. I don't think this is going to get very far. I mean, there might be a riot, there might be something, but as far as it having, like, this is it, Bolsonaro. Thank you, Gerardo. Thank you. But Bolsonaro and all of that. Hello, Irma. Thank you. Queen of Cups. This is other countries. For some reason, I'm getting CIA. Looking, watching, being like, what's going on? Not something I normally get. It's the wider world, yes. Judgment again. 10 of Swords. Okay, there might be some violence. There might be some riots, but it's put down. Is what I'm getting. So let's see. Now, the question is 128. 128. What effect does the September 7th effect on our America's September 18th stupidity? I'm sorry, I don't have a nicer way to say it. The gathering of the MAGAs in Washington, D.C. Hey, boy. Deva says, I've been there when there have been marches right by the apartment. 18 million people in just that city. Wow. So, September 18th, MAGA rally goers, rallyists, is that a word? Renier saying the September 18th Nut Bar Parade. There's something about it I think we're going to find somewhat laughable. Like, oh yeah, this is your big thing, huh? I hope, hopefully, because this is people on the left being like, really? They're right-wing communicating. Queen of Cups, government watching, feels like. 2 of Pentacles, the energy on the right, very wishy-washy. Ace of Wands. Oh, gonna try to take action. It's not a big action, but they're trying to do something. They're trying to get people back in the cult. We'll take this action. And then they're looking. Are people coming back to the cult? Are they coming? Are they coming back? Eh. I agree, Holly. We have a grown-up for president. These Trumpsters aren't going to get away with anything. Yeah. Yep. All right. Oh, Mandy had a question at 1:31. Let's see here. When, if ever, will Rump stop begging to get his job back at the White House? Thank you, Ardo. So, Trumpy, I haven't looked at you in a while. So, when are you going to stop? Oh, when it doesn't make him any more money. Just clear. He'll stop talking about being president when it no longer makes him money. Yes, John, it is going to be a super spreader event on September 18th. Why do people want? It's like, I want a Darwin Award. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Can't stop you. Trumpy Towers falling down. Metaphorically falling down by Trumpy. 9 of Wands, High Priestess. 5 of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands. They're scattering. He's the energy. They're not scattering. Scrabbling around, trying to hide secrets. On the far right, but this is also the Trump stuff specifically. Cause of distraction, run over here, catch your breath, make sure this is hidden, go here, you're in, right? And we'll cause as much chaos as we can, because this is what's hanging over him. His financial ruin is hanging over him. So it's a lot of this. Oh, the next 2 cards literally on the deck. Trump's money. That's what he's about. And that's going to do it for me for today. I think that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I will be back tomorrow. I'm here 365 days of the year. Holidays, weekends, weekdays, your birthday, my birthday, I'm here. And so I'll take more of your questions. It's first come, first serve. I just put them in all caps in the chat. Okay. And it's 1:39 here in Chicago. Hello. It's 4 o'clock. I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel. And we do creative stuff. We have 4 25-minute time blocks, or Pomodoros. Where we focus on, we just come on along and bring your creative, whatever your creative thing is. We have knitters, we have quilters, we have writers, we have, you name it. I do graphic art sometimes, but if you have any creative stuff, come on by, and we encourage each other between sprints, and we just work on our own stuff. So, all right, but other than that, as I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for everything. All right, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Well, unless there's a Trump per block, in which case I'll be here. I'll be back on.